Hi there, this is Bridget from the PlannerSpeechie. Welcome. I'm going to be planning for Memorial Day week using this really cute kit from Pink Planner Shop called Coastal Cottage. I did print and cut this myself, so any errors in color or jagged edges, that's all me. So I picked this kit because even though I'm not going to a place like this weekend, this is mentally where I am. It's got a very Nancy Meyers feel to it, so I thought it would be fun. And I love the bold colors and the just sharp oranges and blues with a little hint of sage green. I think is really fun. I didn't print everything that came with this kit, but I printed the pages that I knew I was going to use. And then in addition to that, I also had a Scribble Prints Co. Custom doodle made with the hex number that matched kind of the house. I wanted something that wasn't quite this blue, but just something navy that I could probably use again with other kits as well. And then I'm really excited to be bringing back the Plannahannah bundles. So this is, I think this is called Ship Sailor. I have to look up the name of it. I ordered it so long ago, but the foil is silver stars. And so you can see these anchors are really neat. And then the silver stars kind of shine through. I thought this was kind of semi-patriotic. But so I love the little sailor accents here. And of course you can see the star foil right there beautifully. And then I have these really cool underlays. They look like little tiny anchors. And I thought I would put these solid navy underlays on first and then layer the anchors on top to make it really pop. I'm hoping that it doesn't clash too much with this blue, so we'll see how that goes, but I still think it's going to be gorgeous. Anyway, I am not doing a base lay down this week. It's just too much. So I'm going to speed things up and come back in a voiceover. Hey guys, welcome back to another base laydown. So I had a lot of fun putting all of this together. I really dig the colors on this. And I decided to color block this week because it's easier for my brain. It's less work for me. And this was really fun. I love this kit art. It was inspired by a trip that I took with a bunch of friends. It was my friend's wedding bachelorette trip. We went somewhere on the Cape. I don't think it was exactly Cape Cod, but it was a different Cape, but it was beautiful. And we had just a blast together going to beaches and eating at on picnic tables and small side of the road eateries. This was not like a fancy place by any means, but we had a friend's parents let us stay in her empty house, which was, I think, being used as an Airbnb at the time. And so we just got really lucky that they were letting us stay there. So it's good to have friends in high places or just friends with houses near lighthouses. You know what I mean? Um, but we had such a blast hanging out together, and it was fun. But I'm originally from Brooklyn, and I spent a lot of time in New England towns in summers. The epitome of summer to me is just like getting ice cream from the local ice cream shop and then just kind of hanging out and playing board games and doing like very chill things, nothing fancy. Technology was not a big part of my childhood, so like this stuff is all reminiscent of that. Um, but I think this kit is aimed at like a fancier, more expensive experience. Like I said, like a Nancy Meyers style movie, which I love the decor, but cannot afford that kind of situation, you know? So I think my phone actually died while I was filming some of this, so I apologize that it got cut off. Um, I I'm just terrible about charging my phone. I'm the worst. She's the worst in the world. But yes. So I had a lot of fun putting this one down. I really liked the silver stars. I'm getting really into these funky fonts that I feel like I should be using more often. Um, of course, when things go on sale. I can't really afford to buy this stuff all the time, but anyway, it was nice to have hole reinforcers again and like having all of the pieces in one place so I didn't have to jump from place to place. I actually, because I had the bundle and I had all these doodles, I felt like I had too much. And so I need to be kind of careful of like, if I'm using doodles, I probably shouldn't be using a bundle and that kind of thing. I don't want to be wasteful. It's just too hard. But anyway, so you can see the little anchors going up over the headers. They do look exactly the same as the background underlays, which I'm not always a fan of. I like when they're just a little bit different. But yeah, they just added a lot more sparkle to the space. This was the last sort of major week in May when I was working, and it was only 4 days long. So I'm really glad that I was able to showcase this, but I feel like this was a crazy week and there's a lot of stuff that happened sort of emotionally that I didn't really get into very much in this plan with me. But if anyone has any good summer reads or beach reads that you'd recommend, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But anyway, we are almost done getting to the day by day very shortly. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of this. Oh, I thought that was so cute. The little anchors and wheels and things. Sadie Stickers also does these really, really well. If you want like nautical themed foiled stickers, she has some incredible ones. So I used this foil flag that came with the bundle, and then that May script is from Carly Plans. But yes, please enjoy the rest of this plan with me. All right, see you in a second. Okay, so let's get into the day by day. First thing, and I am going to be color blocking this week. I have such pretty patterns. I really, really love this art. It's so pretty. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to mark, if I can find my tweezers, is that this was Memorial Day. I don't have a good, let's go to our icon sheet. Is there something that makes sense for Memorial Day? Maybe let's do, this is such a pretty foil. Let's just do the heart. Like that. Okay, so that's Memorial Day. Next thing that I marked is that I had the day off, and I'm gonna use a little square for this one. All right. So I actually want that. This sticker is from Stick with the Plan Co. And then this one is from the foil bundle. I mean, it's a little redundant because Memorial Day, but why not? Okay, and then the next thing I'll mark is that I had breakfast with Frank. Oops. I'll just put that down there. So I had breakfast with my husband, which is so nice because like we never get to have breakfast together except on the weekends. So to be able to do that is really special. And I have this coffee cup and then this coffee from the bundle. This is looking very sparkly indeed. Okay. So basically I spent the majority of this day just relaxing. I did a lot of cross stitching and that was really fun. But I have this sticker from the foil bundle. And then I have this sticker from my custom Scribble Prints Co. doodles, just the vintage TV. I did have a little, I did get an Amazon order delivered, which had my copies of the Iliad, the Odyssey, and my pill sorter. So you can see like how old I am based on how crazy my Amazon orders are. And then I just had some major Sunday scaries this day. I always get them especially hard when it's like when I have a Monday off. But to be honest, like this was really, I think, more about the fact that it was the beginning of the end of the school year. And I really struggled with this for this week and the following week. So this was like the beginning of my anxiety spiral, like really coming all up on me. So the next thing I'm gonna mark is that my husband had a doctor's appointment. So he actually drove me to work, which was really nice because it's really close. Like, he didn't have to drive too far, but I got to work a little early and I did get a lot done at work, and it made me sort of rethink the fact that I sort of get to work like as soon as I'm supposed to. It is nice to get there early. I have this thing about not using, it's my time and I'm not getting paid for that time, so I like to be at home as much as I can. And I'm just using this to mark that this is for my husband. My husband had an appointment today. So that is from the foil bundle, and then this icon is from the Scribble Doodles. And then of course I did speech therapy. So I'll use a sticker to mark that. I actually probably could have spaced that a little differently, but this script is from Carly Plans in Font Choice 1 Duo. And this script, this little icon is from the Beautiful Mess Plans Co. And it's super cute. I forget what it's supposed to be for. It might be for like teaching or something, but I use it for speech therapy because it makes sense. So I did work on my session notes. I have been really pushing myself to get my session notes completed because I got a little behind, as one does at the end of the year. There were just so many meetings that I had to go to, and so I had to prioritize that paperwork over my session note paperwork. And some of my students, like, they require extensive notes because they're not simple. It's not like simple qualitative data. I have to say like what their behavior was, what they did, and it takes a minute. So that was that. And then I just used this sticker here to mark work because I did. So this computer is from the bundle, the doodle bundle, and then this is from the foil stickers. And then I also watched Mad Men with my husband and had dinner. And this script is a custom from Carly Plans. And then this little computer is from the foil bundle. Okay, this is looking really glittery and I'm kind of obsessed with it. Okay, so Wednesday I have quite a few things to mark. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, not as much as I thought. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to mark, and I'm obsessed with this print. Really, really obsessed. It's so gorgeous. I love the colors, but that is crooked. And you'd think I would not have done that because there are lines of where the anchors go. So actually, I'm gonna cheat and use that, although I do think I laid that down a little crooked, which is maybe why I did that. So the first thing I'm going to mark is that I took a shower in the morning. This is my like everything shower. So that script is from Carly Plans, and that Axodal Avery is also from Carly Plans. Then I did do speech therapy. This beautiful print here that I'm really excited to use. And Wednesday I was kind of by myself because my coworker was out, so I had the whole speech room to myself, which was very weird, and made me realize like how often we talk to each other on a daily basis during the day. And I really wished that she had been there on this particular day because I'll get to it in just a second. I had an IEP meeting, and it was a transition meeting, but it was also a potential change in placement meeting, which I did not realize was happening. And there are some IEP meetings that are just nerve-wracking, and this was one of them. And not so much because I wasn't prepared. I was prepared, but because the outcome of this meeting is not what I would have wanted, and I felt like I didn't really have the space to share how I really felt about the situation we were discussing. And one of the teachers like kind of came back at me for that later, and she said she was just joking later on, and she sort of apologized to me for that like on Friday, but I did not feel good, and I was already in an anxious headspace, and I was already like, this was the meeting where after the meeting I was like talking to myself in the car, saying all the things I wish I had said in the meeting out loud to no one but me. But it was just it was not pleasant. Like, I was not a happy camper. And then I had the added, bonus of being by myself all day. So that sucked. And I just hated that. So, this grocery cart is from the Doodles from Scribble Prints Co. So I went to Publix and got my usual groceries. I also I'll use this little thing because it's cute and I can. It's actually the perfect size for this situation. So this is a new sticker from Carly Plans. Every Wednesday, my husband and I eat sushi because I get it from Publix, and it is really good. And then I watched Mad Men with my husband, and we had dinner, and I talked about this meeting with him some more, and he was very comforting and reassuring, but it was just one of those crazy days, And that is the first half of the week. I am loving how this is coming out. It's so clean and precise, and yeah, I am kind of obsessed. Okay, so that's the first half of the week. I'm just going to snap that into my planner, and then we'll go on to round 2. Just appreciation for the base. Okay. So then on Thursday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Getting really good at like trimming down the things. So I'm gonna use another one of these little boxes because I'm really into them. I, surprise, surprise, slept like shit. And it was not fun. And it was really bad. Like I probably got like 4 hours of sleep tops. And I was so out of it. I was just really, really, really out of it. So yeah, that happened. But then I did speech therapy. And I'm using all my little doohickeys to mark that. And then I did have an eligibility meeting. Another eligibility meeting. Can you believe it? And like, it's crazy that this late in the year we're having these eligibility meetings. Like these kids were opened in March or April. So the fact that we're just trying to wrap everything up at this point in the year, but these students are not going to get like really more than a couple of sessions of therapy. So it just doesn't, it is what it is, I guess. Okay. So then we'll mark that. I had dinner with my husband. I'm using this little doodle from the bundle. And then this script is from Planner. This font was a font of the month. So I have no idea what it is. And then I watched Mad Men after dinner. I'm obsessed with Mad Men. I probably watch it like at least once every other year. It's so good. And I feel like I'm still discovering things about it that I did not see on the first viewing. And then I'm going to use this bigger, bolder box to mark that I hung out with my friend Lynette. All right. And it was a late one, but we did it. All right, so this script is a custom from Carly Plans, and then that is a doodle from the Scribble Prints Co. Custom. Okay, now we're moving on to Friday. So Friday, if memory serves, I have quite a bit to mark. This might be the most I have to mark for the whole week. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things. Okay, we're going to be using a lot of little things. Here. First thing I'll mark is that I was exhausted. At this point, my culmination of not getting sleep, good sleep for multiple days, was really starting to come to a head. And I genuinely, I think it hit me pretty hard. So the next thing I will mark is that it was payday, which is very exciting because I had been waiting for this payday. This is the scary payday because this is the last payday I'm gonna have until August. So for everyone who's like, oh, you get the summers off, we also don't get paid. So the next thing that I'll mark is that I did speech therapy. I have to use a slightly bigger box for this. Let's see, got my little guys there. go. Okay. And I did have an IP meeting. So I'm going to use this like really pretty pattern. I'm obsessed with the patterns in this kit. Whoever did this art is like A++. Okay. So that was actually a transition meeting, but that's fine. This was where things got a little weird. I was having a really, really bad stomach ache. Like, truly, really awful. And I have this girl. She's just going to sit on the header there. But there's nothing worse than feeling nauseous at work. Like, this was not fun. I gotta say, I was not happy about that. I must have rallied. I think I went to Target to get something. I cannot remember exactly what it was, but I needed something. I can't remember. Yeah, I guess that's there now. I'm not going to be able to mark all the things that I did, but that's okay. All right. So in addition to going to Target, I also went to Harris Teeter. I called my friend Chloe because I hadn't spoken to her in a really long time, and she had texted me and I hadn't gotten back to her. So thankfully Chloe is one of those friends that understands that I am not abandoning her. And we talked on the phone while I was in Target, and she like helped me shop. And then I came home, and I'm just using this champagne glass. I didn't drink, but I definitely watched Mad Men. Okay, that was a lot. All right, so then on Saturday, all right. So Saturday, I woke up and I felt awful. I had an elevated temperature, so it wasn't a fever, but it was warmer than it usually is, and I just did not feel good. That was the wrong pen. That is from Once More with Love. So then Frank and I should have used a pattern box. Frank and I had avocado toast. I'll just put that one there. Oh, wait. There we go. And it was delicious, but I was exhausted. And then I basically spent the rest of the day like completely and totally out of it. So I'm actually just gonna put that there. Like, I couldn't do anything. And when I say anything, I mean I couldn't even do the things that I normally like to do for fun. I was so out of it. It was horrible. So I did, let's see, how many other things do I have to mark? Oh, only 3. Okay. Let's use all the patterned things I can. Oh, that's too big. That's actually bigger, but come on. All right, so I've started playing these games on my phone, which have become a little addictive, like slot machine type addictive, that I need to be careful. But they're called Gardenscapes and Homescapes, and basically I have had these games on my phone for a while, but I just sort of forgot about them. And so this, I did not play with my Switch, but I did play like this was the only thing I had the mental energy to do. So that happened. We did get, I'm gonna use these. We did get Yoshi's for dinner, which is poke. So this custom is from Carly Plans, and this poke bowl is also from Carly Plans. And then we watched a movie. This was my husband's pick for this week, so we watched Dunstan Checks In, which I had never seen. I don't know how I had never seen it, but that's what happened. And it was so funny and weird, and I loved it. I love 90s kids comedies, like, brings me back. And then we're on to Sunday. So Sunday was the first day of June, which is so lovely. So I am going to use a little orange thing to mark that. And I don't really have a good thing for this, except maybe in my adulting, I have this like Sweet Ava's paper. It's like a little kitty with a crown. So cute. So I'll just use that to mark that it was the 1st of June. And I did sleep in. Like had to sleep in because it was a crazy week, you know? So I'm gonna use this alarm clock from the bundle and a sleep in with that font. And then sort of double marked things, but my the room that I'm filming this video in is our bonus room, and I basically like let it go to crazy where I had like stickers all over the floor, papers, everything was like a mess, hot mess. So I'm just gonna use this little declutter girl from Stick with the Plan Co. to mark that I clean bonus room. I picked everything off the floor. It's still a mess, but you know, I did my thing. The next thing I'll mark, and I have, what is it, 4 things to mark here, is that I vacuumed the house. I was still feeling icky, but I was feeling a little bit better. But if I don't vacuum downstairs, the cats like look crazy. Like the cat fur just looks absolutely insane. And then the next thing that I marked is that I did some reading. I finished the book, The Story That She Left Behind. I either finished it this day or a different day, but which is very nice. And then now I can use my coveted pattern box to mark that I should have left more room. I I did film my plan with me's. I filmed a setup for June in my bullet journal, and I filmed some plan with me stuff here. And then the last little thing that I will mark is that this is a new task for me that I have to do every week now, but it's important, is that I refilled my medication. So that med script is from Carly Plans, as is this little pill thing from Carly Plans. And that is the second half of the week. Majority of the week, I should say. But I love it. Okay, I'm gonna put this in my planner. But before I show you the full spread, I'll just show you what I have left over, because it's quite a bit of stuff. And I always save the foil and the doodles. I'm not really gonna save much else because I can just reprint pages myself. So these are the full boxes. These are the patterns. This was my favorite. I'm obsessed. These are the little things. I didn't use as many as I usually use because I just marked less things in my planner this week. And then this is all the leftover Silver Star stickers, Silver Stars scripts. This was a really, really beautiful foil. I would definitely use this one again. And then we have some deco that I might just pepper in later. These are all the leftover doodles, which is quite a significant amount of them. So I'm going to put those aside. But yeah, that is the whole thing. And then let me show you the finished planner so you can see the whole spread. Okay. So there she is. She looks very good. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. There we go. So I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. And it's a nice contrast to like this one, which is a lot more subtle. And this one's bolder. But yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a really good rest of your week and take care.